Hello everyone. So today is going to be my yearly wrap up. All of these books were the books that I've read and finished. They are mostly all in order, so without further ado, let's go. I'm going to just say a small brief talk about each one. Here I am. So, I hope you can see it just so you can see the emails. So let's start from the bottom to the top, right? So let's go with my least favorites and to my favorites. There were some disappointing reads, there were some very good reads, some I guess two or three went to my favorite books of the years. So let's start with a couple of ones that I was not enjoying, and I did drop them or finish them if you wish. So most of them I did read, like at least half of the book. Usually I read around 20-30% if I give up a book. I only give up a read, I guess it was 3 books. So let's go. So the first one and one of my least favorite books was Michael Chea, The Shadows Fall. This was probably my least favorite book that I finished of the year. And another one which I didn't enjoy was that I finished was one by Jeffrey Thomas. I did read a lot of them and some were pretty good. This one was not. It was this one which is Culture Shocks. I didn't enjoy this book. Sorry, let me more light. So, books that I didn't finish. So let's talk about those. It was 4 books or 5, if I'm not mistaken. 4 books, I guess. The first one, Greg Bear, Hull 03. I did read this like almost 60%, and I didn't enjoy the book. It was getting a little bored by it. Liz Johnson, The Paper Eater. I did read a lot of her books. Well, not a lot, 3. And these and 2 of them, one of, at least is on. I gave 5 stars or whatever you want to call it, but I did enjoy it. This one I didn't enjoy it. I read like half and I was bored by it. Another one I didn't enjoy the book at all. I was reading and it took me a while to read it. Was Al Clement, Mission of Gravity. This one I may or not be reading it again. Another one I didn't finish was Sympathy Tower Tokyo, which I didn't enjoy. It's a book about a dystopia world, not a dystopia if you're gonna call it, but like a world where people are sorry, trying to be redeemed in society, and but with kindness, and it's kind of weird, to be honest. And there are some parts here that are even made by I. When I read that, I didn't enjoy that. And the last one I didn't finish was The Fall by Simon Clarke. I did read this, like this book is 600 pages or so. I did read like 250 pages, and I just didn't care about these characters traveling throughout time. I didn't care, and so I gave up. Now, other books that I enjoyed, and going and from the last to the to well to my favorite books, you've got Simon Clarke, Lucifer Arc. I didn't enjoy this book. This is a thriller book as well, and I didn't feel invested in the characters, so I didn't enjoy them. Cold Comforts by Marianne Albert, which is a compilation of short stories, very small. There was not one single story I enjoyed, but it's strange because it's probably me thing, because I've checked Goodreads, and their Goodreads has a rating for it, so it must be a me thing. I would advise to buy it. It's a Macabre Inc. I did read several books by Macabre Inc. Another one I didn't enjoy it was all of these books I gave it less than 2 stars. Imagine 2 stars. The Gravedigger's Tale, Fables of Fear by Simon Clarke. This is a compilation of short stories. Here there are like 10 short stories. One or two were good, the remaining are not that good. It's a Simon Clark thing to with me. Darker Worlds, I also didn't enjoy this one, by Jeffrey Thomas, but again, there are some other bigger, better novels by him, and I'm compelled to read more from him. My Missile Gap by Charles Stross was another book I didn't enjoy. This one is signed and is a limited edition. I will probably sell this book because I could grab my money back, but it's another alternative history kind of story. Thomas Disch, Camp Concentration. I read this book and I was a little bored by it. It was too well written. Can you say that? Yeah, probably you can. This book was also another one that I didn't read. I gave it a 40 out of 100, so that's it. Now more. Other books I didn't enjoy it. Oh, I gave it a 2. Josh Malerman, the book called Inspection. I did finish the book and I didn't enjoy this book at all. It was a good book to read, but I was not feeling engaged by the story. There were a lot of questions in me and I didn't enjoy it. But in terms of the book, yeah, this book is very beautiful. Okay, made by SST Publication. The Painted Darkness by Brian James Freeman, the owner of Leviathan Press, and I didn't enjoy this book. This is a book told in 2 timelines, and to be fair, one of the timelines were cool, the other one was not, and the ending didn't attract me, if you want to call it that. You've got Jacqueline Drucker, Torn. I've read like 8 books by her. You're going to see a lot of them here. And this was one of it was my least favorite by her. Next year I'm going to read more. My goal is to read at least 8 by her. She writes fast-paced post-apocalyptic scenarios, and this one was my least favorite. Probably interesting, it was the biggest one in terms of page count. Now, Ruins by Kevin J. Anderson. This is X-Files book. I didn't enjoy this one. It's a set in Mexican, and all my interest on it, well, it was not there. Then, let's go. James Cooper, Strange Fruit. This book is another book that is a special edition. I did finish the book. It was one of the first books I read this year, and although I enjoyed, if I have to be, the problem with enjoying a book, or maybe yes, it's good, and then as you look back, you start comparing, and you see, okay, nothing special about the book. So maybe did I enjoy it or did I hallucinate it? It was between 2 books I didn't enjoy, so maybe I had, I don't know, better expectations. I don't know if you can call it that. Them by W.H. Shizmar. This is a very post-apocalyptic book, as alien beings that are, well, destroying Earth, and the story about the man. I think that this book is missing something. Either this is the first book of a series, or it is not that well interesting to me. That's my opinion. Welcome to Punktown, another book by Jeffrey Thomas, and another X-Files book called The Goblins by Charles Grant, which is a shame because I really enjoyed Charles Grant stuff. We've got the 3rd book, The Gangrel, by the Clan Novel series by Gerard Fleming, and this one was my least favorite because it changed a lot of direction of what I was expecting of the Clan Wars series. The first 2 books were very interesting. This one was not, because it escapes, and it's just, to me, it was made with the goal of saying, this clan is here, but it has no real impact. Maybe reading the next ones will bring some enjoyment to me. Old Moon. This book is very short, like 50 pages, and it's a compilation of three sword and sorcery novellas. Sorry, I didn't enjoy that one. Another Jeffrey Thomas book, Being from Beyond. This one I gave it a 50, so 2.5 stars, 3 stars if you want to say that. Enigma Season by Eric Brown and Kit Brute. I enjoyed this book. It felt to me it was not completed, but then I learned that there is a second book, but I will not purchase it because I did enjoy the story. It's a story where humanity has been, well, in underground, and these people are trying to survive. There are groups there, and there is an interesting backstories. Maybe reading the second one will enhance this enjoyment, but the problem is that it ended in a cliffhanger, and well, what can we do? Next one, The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. This is a mystery novel in a post-apocalyptic world. Very fast-paced, interesting story. This one is signed as well, and there are some good parts on the book, but overall, the impact that the book had to me was barely nothing. I mean, the story is there. There is a murder, yes, but then I guess there are some Deus Ex Machina. I was not fairly invested on the characters. Jasper T. Scott, Night Stalker Sanctum. This is the second book in the series, which I read the first one and it's back there. And this one I didn't enjoy it as much as I hoped. The two books have probably 1,200 pages, and I hoped an alien invasion to alien stuff and so on. And you can almost remove, if you remove the part of the alien beings, you had a book of 1,000 pages. So much is focused on humanity and how even when we are destroying ourselves, humanity will turn against other humans when they are just pockets of resistance. It's very sad to see this. That part was not bad, okay? The part I didn't enjoy was that my hopes was for more alien stuff, and I didn't get it. Descent of Angels by Michael Scannell. This is the 6th book on the series, or the 5th? No, the 6th one, and I understand why this has a low rating in Goodreads now. The book was not that interesting, to be honest. It didn't brought nothing to the plot itself. It just brought, okay, how did the Dark Angels were created, or how they were created, or they evolved. And then there is a time jump that everything that you are hoping to see it, it was removed, and I hoped for a bit more. All Dark Houses by Tyler James, an horror book, a novel, which I didn't enjoy it, to be honest. It's about Halloween stuff, the children in Halloween, but I didn't enjoy this book. Another one I read on Halloween, Hallows Eve, the second book, and it is a trilogy by Al Sarrantonio, and I did read the first one. I even enjoyed the second one. Well, no. Aliens, Honeyboos edition. I only read one, so don't criticize me. The other two I already read, and it's okay. It's not one of the best, how do you say it, alien versions. No, not versions, alien, not the best conversion, if you want to call it, from a book from a movie to a book. It's just, it didn't brought anything additional, to be honest. Then we've got Karkarodo's Red Tide, the first book in the series, and this one I hoped a lot for something about Night Lords against these guys, which are good guys, but they are very bad, and I didn't get what I hoped. That's fortunately. The Last Astronaut by David Wellington, and a book about alien encounter. and it was okay at part, and then there are some interesting parts about discovery, how they arrived there, but itself the book, it ended pretty flat, to be honest. The ending was pretty flat. Taste of Blood is by John Atom, which is an horror writer which has like 40 books, and I really enjoyed this one, but comparing to the others he wrote, this is not something okay over the top. It's okay, basically. It's about this about the two girls trying to survive. There are even, I believe there is another John Hatem here that I read this month, and this one, it was not my favorite one by him. So this one I rated 65, so it's already 3 stars, which is good. Sorry, I have to do something here. So next ones, is this recording? Yeah, it is. So next books that we are going to talk. Sorry, let's go. Next one, The Grey, Ian Rogers. This is a book, an horror book, which is very small. I am talking about around 100 pages with 50 chapters. Each chapter is like 2-3 pages. I'm enjoying. I did enjoy the book. I bought another book by him, Not All Houses Are Haunted or something like that, but in overall, I didn't get what I hoped for from this book. When you read a lot, there are a lot of comparisons. That's probably why some books here you may think, oh, it's the best book of the year for me. But I read like 150 books, and you have to compare at some point. It's something that I've been wanting to talk. I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago when I started reading, well, a lot. And I read like 1,600 books or more. So I have to compare. It's almost impossible not to do it. So, and maybe if this was, some of these were my first book I read in my reading experience, maybe they will be rated higher. Who knows? Slaves of Cthulhu, Tony Richards. I was enjoying the book. This book has nice illustrations, so on, until it mentions Cthulhu, the female version of Cthulhu. I don't know. I don't know if he was kidding, if he was just okay. Let's me introduce something new to the genre. I don't know. What Moves the Dead, T. Kingfisher. This is the first book in the series. Sworn Soldier. And although there are some politics here that I didn't enjoy, like the pronouns or something like that, the writer escapes that beautifully by putting this book in the first person perspective. So, but imagine reading with these pronouns if it was in the third person. I would be amazed if she could do that. Of course not. Another, Jeffrey Thomas, The Offspring of Nightmare. These books, all of these, or Jeffrey Thomas, almost all of these are in the same series of small, short books. The Shuddering, Anya Halborn. This is the first book I read from her, and unfortunately I didn't get what I hoped. This is a slow burn horror, and probably at that time I wanted to read something more, fast-paced. Maybe that's the reason I didn't enjoy the book as I hoped. The Once Yellow House, 68. So, Gamma Amor. I enjoyed this book. It's a bit out there compared to what I normally read, but I did enjoy the book itself. So, let's continue. Another Jasper T. Scott book, Under Darkness, is this second book. The first book I read from him, I enjoyed the book. The plot was very thin, to be honest. So, I did have to stop because of work. So, next one, Ground Zero, X-Files book, another book by Kevin J. Anderson. This one was better than the one, and it did feed me some of those things that I hoped with X-File stuff. Then we have Test of Fire by Ben Bova. This one I rated a 70 out of 100. 3 stars. So it's a story about world destroyed and people living on the moon trying to go back to Earth, but encountering that not all people have died, so they have to control what to do. It's a cool thriller, nothing more. Night Stalkers, I gave it a 79, so this is out of order. This is the first book on the series that I mentioned. I did have hopes for a more sci-fi elements, didn't get it, which is a shame. This is the second book on the series of the clan novel Chimich by Eric Griffin. The first one tells a story about with one party, and this book tells a story in another party. This was much darker compared with the first one. The World You Loved, 70. This is a story, second book in the series, The World You Loved, by the Slattery Falls book 3, not the second, the third one. And I did enjoy the first, the second, third. I didn't think that it was necessary, to be fair. The Ocean Code by T.S. Falk. I did enjoy parts of it. I didn't enjoy the message that the author was trying to bring up, and that's something that messed my enjoyment. October Screams, a compilation of short stories. There are some good stories here, but not all are that interesting. Horror Wind, the first book in the series that I mentioned before, The Orange Field by Alçar Antonio. This one is a compilation of 5 short stories or novellas, kind of stories, and they combine to make a bigger picture of a story or something like that, if you can call it that. Now, 73. These are probably not all of them are the same order. 73, Gottfried and Felix by the Serpent Queen. This one is part of the Warhammer Fantasy. It was like 3 or 4 stories in the middle of the main story of Gottfried and Felix, first by William King, then by Nathan Long. This one is in between, and that's why I rated a bit less, because my investment on the story, the characters, well, it's not there because I know what's going to happen, so I didn't enjoy the book as much as I hoped. Then we've got 73, Bang Bang, a short story called a novella kind of book, 200 pages, not a novella, but okay, it's a story about a world where humanity has eliminated death, basically, and what can the people that the undertakers do if that happens. And this is a funny story, a very funny story about that. It's very cool. I really enjoyed that one, in terms of not horror, but most on the fun part. Bloody Night, Tim Curran. Tim Curran is one of my favorite horror writers. This one was okay. It's told in 4-person perspective, the 4 women that were kidnapped, and I enjoyed, but I've read better from him. Alla Allos by Christopher Golden. I did enjoy the book. I gave it 2 ratings, 72 or 20, it depends. If I would have to rate this due to the political statements, I would give this a 20. If in terms of story itself, it's good. It's a story about a couple of families trying to live in one night, and there are some stuff going on there that and it's a good story, good horror story. Then we've got The Moan by Junji Ito. This one, it's a story, it's another one of the stories I read by him. I read everything by him. Well, read and saw, because these are manga stuff, or manga, and this guy is the best horror manga that I've seen. Every book is filled with interesting, very hot stories. I really enjoyed it. Then we've got a couple of books. This one, The Decimated Dreams, the second book in the series by Brandon Slafaro. This one follows, all three follows the same story. I did read them all in one go, and this one was good. It was like the first one is the first story about that thing, and then he goes back there and we are going to see what happens next. The next one, next one is going to be A Song for the Void by Adrian Piazza. It's a horror novel set in the seas of China. It's very cool story, and I thought about Lovecraftian stuff linked here. There are some parts that I didn't enjoy about this book, but overall I did enjoy this novel. I gave it a 74 out of 100. Continuing, we've got, let me check, because these are out of order. I'm a mess, sorry about that. This one, I gave it a 70. It's A.J. Ryan, The Feeding. I did enjoy this post-apocalyptic book about, it's by the same author, which is called Anthony Ryan. He writes epic fantasy, and this one was like, let's see if I can write something different than epic fantasy. And it did. Was it good? It served the purpose. It's a mess. It's a bit of a mess. I've talked about this book previously. I'm not going to delve more on that because I already talk about it, and you can check my other videos. But basically this is a story about the world has been conquered by these vampires kind of things, but you never really get to know them, and there are some people surviving in cities surrounded by walls, and they have to survive. They have to go to another city to get X stuff and trade and so. But the story itself, I mean, it's been done overly well too many times. The Coming of the Old Ones. This one, it's a cool story, and it's 3 stories. All of these are 3 stories, and you can grab any one and read it. I gave it a 74, so it's a 3.5 stars. Then we've got Murder at the Oldie House by Denzil Mayrick. This is a murder investigation story about this guy who is investigating a murder. His father is a minister, and it has some. It's a very cool story, to be honest. I really enjoyed the main character. He's a very funny guy, and but the story progressed, and it's the problem which I had with this book was that it's a cozy story, okay? So there isn't many stakes high there. So even things that you know that may happen badly, they don't happen. So it's an okay story for you to read and probably forget about in 1 year. I did bought the second one, so I will read it eventually. Ray Carton, Paranoia Tango. I gave it a 75. Ray Carton has been one of my favorite horror writers for some time now. I read like a 3 or 4, and I bought, after reading this, I bought 6 more. So, all by Macabre Inc. And this one, I did enjoy the book. It's very eerie, very spooky, and it ends very nicely. I really enjoyed Paranoia Tango. These are a collection of 2 short stories. Well, not short stories, but novellas kind of stuff, if you want to be precise. Now, Casino Royale, Ian Fleming. This is my first book on the series. I thought about buying everything. I'm glad I didn't pay for that, and because I did enjoy this one, I was not enthralled like so many other people. This video is becoming very long, so let's go more fast. Next one, Michael McBride, Snowblind, and the sequel, Snowblind Killing Grounds. You've got The Arrival, which is Annihilation Book 1 by Joshua Teal Copper. This is a